Now we will begin the rubber damper suspension installation. Take the rubber damper bonded to the mounting plate and slide it between the suspension fork and leaf springs until snug. Be sure the plate is resting against the leaf springs. Put the 2 bolts through the damper mounting plate, then around the leaf springs and through the rubber damper bonded to the mounting plate. Use the 2 lock nuts and hand thread them onto the bolts. Tighten completely. Locate your 4 suspension U-bolts, 2 lock blocks, 2 suspension U-bolt plates, 8 hex nuts, and 8 lock washers. Place 2 suspension U-bolts over the rear of the Voyager frame and through the suspension U-bolt plate. Hand thread a hex nut and lock washer on each suspension U-bolt end. Do not tighten at this time. Place your leaf springs on top of the suspension U-bolt plate and underneath the Voyager frame. Then place the tapered end of the suspension fork on the bearing receiver. Locate your suspension lock block. Place the lock block over the leaf springs and underneath the Voyager frame. Tighten the hex nuts, but leave loose enough to adjust the suspension fork. Repeat each step on the opposite side suspension fork before tightening completely. Adjust the suspension fork so it aligns in the center of the bearing receiver. The outside diameter of the K-preen roller bearing should be 3/16 of an inch inside the tapered end of the suspension fork. Once your suspension fork is properly adjusted, tighten the hex nuts on the suspension U-bolts completely. Then torque them to 35 foot-pounds.